Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Planet Coaster Alpha 3, working on the Middle-earth themed park. The last couple episodes we finished up Hobbiton. It's over in the bottom left corner. I spent some time going over the park and trying to draw some lines and figure out exactly where I wanted to put everything, because we still have to put Rivendell, Mordor, most likely Minas Tirith, and then the Mines of Moria are going to be going underground. So we needed 3 more above ground sections, and it's hard. There's not a lot of room in this park once you start building like this. I mean, people are suggesting build like this, build this, build this. They want to do like a couple dozen different places. You guys gotta remember, this park is pretty small. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of room, especially once you start doing stuff with terrain like I'm going to be doing for the next couple sections. So I'm doing the best I can. Those are the ones I've picked, and those are the ones we're doing. I can't really expand much more on that. Maybe a couple little things from here and there. Well, real quick, we just finished up doing some terrain right there. That happened real fast. Wow. Alright, I thought it took longer, but oh well. I guess it is sped up 700%, so my perception of time is a little bit off. But today we are working on Rivendell, and so I've been doing some terrain formation, just kind of moving everything around, trying to get some nice cliffs and mountains. Again, I'm working with stills from the Lord of the Rings movies. The shape, the idea of what's going on here. And I've seen some like conflicting things in some of this movie stills I've been looking at. Like, some of them have the elf architecture like just really white and grand, and some of them have actual wooden structures. So I'm gonna try and blend those styles a little bit, try and figure out what I want to do there. Again, not 100% movie accurate. None of this is supposed to be. This is just supposed to be fun, relaxing, let's build some stuff, etc. The first thing I'm working on is a nice little bridge kind of going over this real deep ravine. I like how these ravines look. They're really cool looking. Nice big deep holes. Because every time I've built or made water in the past, we've made the water level as high as possible, so you haven't really gotten any sort of sense of scale, any sort of drop down. But I thought a big old canyon there would be really cool, and it would fit with the theme of the area. And I know I keep doing still water. We actually change it to rough water later. I don't know why I did still water. It's just force of habit, I suppose, because I normally build these little itty bitty ponds. That's like the little tiny pond, like the size of like a puddle that I built in Hobbiton. Someone's like, why did you use still water? I was like, because it's a tiny little pond, man. What did you think it was going to be? But no, we do change the water in here to the rough water, so you'll see that later in the video. For here, just wanted the nice arch kind of going across there. And I forgot for a second that you can't actually tell the path to not have supports now. That is a feature in Alpha 3 now. So when you build paths, you'll see me later adjust it. In the bottom right, there's going to be a little checkbox you can tick. See right there, I just did it. Like, oh, remove those paths. There we go. Looks quite a bit better. So then we're just going to make our own path system. And that someone actually brought up a good critique of the there and backing coaster in Hobbiton. They said that it would have been better looking. It would have been incredibly time consuming. I'm still considering doing it, to just remove all the supports and manually build my own. It would definitely fit the theme of the area quite a bit better. Like if I built just my own wooden supports, it would take forever. But I definitely agree that it would look much better. So that's something we may do in the future. I'll tinker around with it off camera, and if I think it's gonna work, I'll bring you guys in and film us doing that. Because the big wooden or the big metal spikes sticking everywhere does kind of take away from the authenticity of the area. So that's something we may work on. Those lamps, okay, those oriental lamps look super cool, but I don't think they fit with this area. They're too red. If they were a bit more of a subtle color, then maybe I'd like them. They're really cool looking, and we never use them, but they're so garish that I just don't think they fit really well with any of these areas. So we'll see if we ever want to try and use them again in the future. Is adding a middle support right there. I might actually remove that. Yeah, I think it looked better without it. I'm going to remove that. Change my mind. That's what we're going to do. And then for this area, I wasn't really sure about what I wanted to do first. I was like, do I want to try and build just a random building? Do I want to try and add a ride? So I think we end up building a ride first. We had these nice little steeped areas, and I pre-flattened them off because I knew I wanted to put a ride up there and then maybe have the coaster on the second cliff next to it. But I didn't want just natural cliffs. I wanted, if you see in the movies, there's a lot of these support structures, these like bricks and stone supports underneath the buildings on top of the hill. So I wanted to try and mimic that over here. And we spent a lot of time building this wall and flat area that we end up removing a lot of it, so it's kind of pointless, but it's okay. We can delete things. It's all good. It's how we learn, right? It's not a perfect process. I'm not just painted by numbers. I'm making it up as I go. And that's half the fun, in my opinion at least. Just filling it in, and I was just gonna basically just chuck a ride in the back corner there, and then have a nice like grand entrance building. It's just weird because we don't actually go through the building. I just realized that we just kind of go around it, but it is a very cool looking building that we end up putting there. So we just take this right. I thought it fit nicely. Forgot to change the colors on it again. Probably wanted to make it relatively white. A lot of this stuff I build kind of starts off looking a little bit too like classical, like Greek and Roman architecture, but once we start adding a little bit more of our wooden details, I really think it becomes, oh Jesus, excuse me, it becomes a little bit more high fantasy, and so I think we pull that off relatively well. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do here. Again, I was just working with some stills from the movies. There was a shot from when Frodo wakes up in Rivendell, and it just gives you a nice overview of like from his balcony of the city. So I just found some cool buildings there to kind of focus on and took some inspiration from them. Again, it's a little tough working with the limited pieces of this game. For example, a lot of the roofs don't come in points like that. They're a bit more curved, and so that would have been a cool thing to do. They have a lot of arches, and so we try and mimic the arches quite a bit in here. You'll see me use them fairly often, as you can see here. See, it's already looking a lot better once you get those arches and everything. But I think what really helps these is because I'm building a lot with the white limestone, or the white, this isn't directly limestone, this is the limestone plaster, I think? Plaster limestone, something like that. I can't quite remember. But it's all white and it looks very classical and stuff. But once we start adding the wooden details, I think, again, it lends itself a little bit more to the high fantasy, elvish style. Which, again, I'm still going to get people going, that doesn't look very elvish to me. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, it doesn't look like, it's not perfect and perfectly in line with this fictional character, this fictional species and fictional architecture. Again, trying to make it look like the movies, but also just trying to incorporate my own style. So there we go. I really think the wooden details are helping. Just bring that out quite a bit. And I tried painting some of the white, but I was like, no, we do want to keep some of them brown. We ended up moving that path. Oh, jeez. Speaking of the devil, there we go. Wow, it's almost like I recorded this shit last night or something and know what's going to happen next. It's still fresh in my mind, but definitely wanted the path to go through there. This is actually ended up being one of our longer queues. It's a very, very long queue. It's just funny because that's something I have struggled with in the past, is making queues long enough. They're always very short, and it's kind of annoying because I really just need to make them longer. I mean, it's better for everything if I just make them nice and long and just let people fill in, as long as it doesn't look too bad. Like, we don't need a queue a half mile long, so people are going to be pretty pissed by the time they get to the end of it. In fact, this ride is probably the furthest thing from the entrance of the park, so people are going to have to walk pretty far. And just so I can break it down for you guys, you don't really have a good view now, but you'll see at the end. I guess I'll talk about it at the end where I'm going to put Mordor and Minas Tirith. Mordor is going to go up in the top left of the park, and Minas Tirith is going to go in the bottom right. That's kind of how I'm going to split those up. I'm a little worried about filming the Mines of Moria episode, just because it's going to be a lot in the dark and in the cramped area and zipping around, so it might be a little tricky. I might just do build it and then do an overview video, because it might be a little nauseating to watch. I don't know, we'll see. I'll try it out, and if I don't like it, then we'll just do an overview video of the completed build. Or what I may do is just make a giant hole in the ground, build it, and then close in the terrain over it. That might actually be easier, perhaps. And I really like these little curlicue things. I think they're nice little architectural interest. This little high fantasy piece. So thought we toss them in there. Add some roof pieces over there. I'm like, okay, it's looking alright. It does look a little bit Norse, especially with those curly pieces up there. Looks more Norse than my Thor area of the park. Of the previous park. Yeah, that part of the park is really bad. Oh, I was getting a lot of people saying this doesn't look like Norse architecture. I'm like, well, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to look like Asgardian architecture. Oh well, that part of the park sucked. We all know it. I'm just the one saying it. Oh well. Then extending the roof over the path areas, trying to make it a little bit more inclusive. There you go. I am pretty happy with the terrain. We have a bit more work to do with the coloration. Like, I don't like how we have the grass in the higher elevations, but it's looking alright. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Adding some stone things on the corner, and then removing them immediately. And then chucking some ivy on there. Looks pretty good. I like the ivy. I think it was a nice addition to the game. That's definitely a lot of things you'll be seeing in this part of the park, because it's very lush and green and bushes and trees everywhere. And speaking of bushes and trees, here I come with my bushes and trees. Just everywhere. I didn't want to use the sycamore trees again, because we did use those in the Hobbiton area. We used them exclusively. But I think the sycamore trees would look better than these little birch trees we have going on here. Just because the ones in the movies are nice, big and bushy. So I think we may switch those up. Not really liking the look of these at this present hour, at this present juncture. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Again, everything's subject to change. All that sort of thing. And then up there, I thought we'd just do our standard little park area around the entrance of the ride. Didn't want to really build another structure back there. Well, we kind of built one. We enclosed the ride a little bit more at the near the end of the video. A little more stuff here, just some railing. It kind of looks like a chair rail or something inside of a house, but nope. It's on the outside. Adding these torches everywhere, so I decided to go with the torches for this part of the park. Thought they fit the theme a little bit better. Oh, I can tell. That's so funny. So I thought they were all level, but watching the sped up version, I can tell those were all getting a little higher than the previous ones. That's funny. And I like doing this. I could just cut the night, but I kind of prefer just showing you guys the time lapse of the nighttime. It is a lot faster in this version, so it's all good. Looking all right. Looking all right. I like the glowiness of the lights. Look pretty cool. And then I wanted to add some of our hidden lighting around here. Alright, we have these royal gazebos, which I thought fit perfectly with the theme. So those are pretty cool. And then I started something there, but didn't continue with it. We work on that later. Don't you worry. And then I wanted some sort of lamppost for this part of the park. Just kind of what we've been doing around the entire part of the park. Just trying to figure out something a little more original to do here. So we took this this stucco base thing. And then just stuck a pole in it. So a little bit different than we've been doing, because previously we just kind of stuck those in. And I like the look of this, where we had that gold topper on top. It was a little bit too grand and gaudy, so I decided not to go with it and keep it a little bit more simple. Maybe if it was white or something. I don't know. I may actually go back and add those. Those are pretty cool. Those big gold pieces on top. I don't mind them. And then we're doing the same thing that we did in Hobbiton, which is some hidden lights under the ground to kind of light up some of these places at night. I just think it makes it look pretty nice. Like, it doesn't really make sense because it's a hidden light, but it looks pretty good. Here's what we were finishing up, yeah. So I wanted to add these guys just kind of going around here. I need to fix that path, actually, because it's kind of cutting through there, but this is a lot faster. This took quite a while. It's kind of annoying just wiggle these pieces around, but again, at 700% speed, it's not as bad to watch. So I just thought this would be a nice little thing to finish up. We may actually copy and paste this into other parts of this park, because you do see parts like this in the movie, just kind of circular areas like that. Like, it's actually a part of, I forgot which movie, but Gandalf and the guy who played Agent Smith in The Matrix. Hugo something, the actor's name. I don't remember his name in Lord of the Rings. He was like the Elf King. That was his name. I can't remember. Sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing for that. Oh well. I don't like these rocks there. I don't like them at all. I think I might go remove those. Those don't look very good. I think I might just tear them out. I'll fill in this area with a little pond. And then we just do a bunch of water squirting out here. Again, I don't really like any of the ways that we can get waterfalls to look in this game currently. I hope they add like a better system more for waterfalls in the future. Not loving it. Just doesn't look very convincing. Doesn't look very good. Oh, accidentally too much water there. Oopsie daisy. Filled it all in. And then it's adding like a nice little rock alcove in there. I don't know, just something. Trying some new things. More trees and bushes all around. Oh, those little green pieces of seaweed look terrible. Thank you for removing them, Sea-Top. You're welcome. Good job. Good job indeed. What are we working on next? Oh yeah, so I wanted to add some sort of tower to this. I like it, but I'm afraid it makes it look too much like a colonial style building, or maybe even a church. I don't love it. Let me know what you guys think about it. See, it kind of makes it look like a colonial schoolhouse or something. I may remove that. I think it may have looked better without it. And then here I was just trying some different patterns and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna remove that. Definitely, it looks like there should be like a clock there or something, and it's like a clock tower and like a colonial style schoolhouse or a town hall or something. Not in love with how it looks. So definitely let me know what you guys think. If we should keep it or tear it out. I'm always interested to hear your opinions. Unless your opinion's like, make more roller coasters. I get that comment sometimes. Like, I think people just want to see what the majority of YouTubers do in this game, where they just plop down a roller coaster, add 500 inversions, and then ride it going, whoa, look at this, whoa, it's crazy. Like, that's just not fun for me. Like, yeah, I like riding the roller coasters and stuff, but I'm much more design oriented in this game. You guys know that. So I'm not going to be adding 1,000 coasters or with 1,200 inversions. I'm being a little facetious here. Facetious. I don't like that word. Facetious. There we go. There's that word. Oh well. But yeah, loving it so far. I think it's looking really cool. Extended the path over just so the people can get on in. And we're gonna let them roam on over. There we go. We just switched the water. Called it. Switched the water to the rough water down there. Looks pretty cool. Well guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Planet Coaster. Make sure you leave a like if you are enjoying, want to see more in the future. If you have any suggestions for the park, things like that. And we'll definitely need a name for the coaster in the Rivendell park, so let me know. I'll see you guys next time for some more Planet Coaster. Bye.